Here comes the birthday boy. Happy birthday, son. Aren't they wonderful, darling? How many are there? 36. Counted them myself. 36, but last year I had 37. Yes, well, some of them are a bit bigger than last year. I don't care how big they are. Oh, no. This is what we're going to do here, Pumpkin. Is we're going to go out and we're going to buy 2 new presents. How does that sound, Pumpkin? It's classic movie banter. So, Nathan.
Yes.
Donuts.
Yes.
Are you a donut fan or a donut fiend?
Look, I am a huge donut fan, but like very sporadically.
Ooh, yeah, I know what you mean.
Like I cannot have donuts regularly, otherwise I feel genuinely ill. Do you remember the tale of Krispy Kremes in Australia?
The tale of Krispy Kreme?
Well,
when they hit the scene, they were the biggest thing. They were the biggest thing around. It was...
Yeah, this was like early 2000s that I remember them entering my life. Like, do you remember, because on the Gold Coast, we had no Krispy Kreme shops, didn't we?
No, but somewhere sold them. The airports had them.
Yes.
And I feel...
The city of Sydney.
Yes.
The city of Sydney had the donuts. Do you remember? So, like, back in the day when we were kids, like, so Krispy Kremes were God's gift, you know? There was no second coming of Christ. There was instead Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yeah.
And if you wanted one, normally you'd only get it when, like, you'd have friends come visit from Sydney. Or, like, one of your friends had to go to Sydney and then bring back donuts.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. And so, like, the rents would, like, rock up one other, like, from their Sydney trip. But you wouldn't even be wanting to see them. You'd be waiting for them to rock up with the box.
Yeah, you'd want your fucking donut.
You toss the parent aside, don't even give them a hug, and you just go straight into the donut.
Oh, munch into it. Yeah, like, I'm not... in retrospect, I'm not the biggest Krispy Kreme fan.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't do it for me. It did back in the day, again, when it hit the scene. Oh, like, you were right, it was godlike.
Yeah.
But nowadays... sometimes it's one of those things. I agree with you that I can't have donuts all the time because, yes, one, you feel genuinely ill, but two, you can't actually enjoy the donut experience in the sense that if you have it all the time, it's not special. A donut experience must be special. So donuts on a regular basis don't work. No.
One of my housemates is a police officer, Brenton. And when I first met her, I asked her if officers genuinely do that Chief Wiggum thing where they all just like get donuts. And she's like, well, most police officers are quite healthy. Like, they have to keep quite fit, right?
I can imagine, yeah.
But she said, despite that, there is like one bloke in like her team who genuinely like daily has donuts.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just can't do that.
No. Do you feel good after a lot of donuts? Like,
oh god, no.
No, I feel genuinely ill. And like, we're young blokes. That's the thing. Like it's not even like a sign of age. Like, oh, I can't. You know, like,
it's not like your metabolism's failing you. You know, at this stage,
yeah. So like, I don't know. I feel like if I were to like be in a profession where I had to be fit all the time, I wouldn't be eating donuts like all the time.
No. Yeah,
but
not necessarily. It depends whereabouts you work in the police force, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah. I think like bagels are a different thing. Like, I can understand why people might have a bagel for breakfast or something. Though again, I'm not the biggest bagel fan. Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, all with like your pastries and that kind of stuff. Like, I remember I was in Paris once, and I was at a hotel with my family, and like we had like this like the bulk buffet breakfast.
Oh yes.
Try saying that 3 times fast. Bulk buffet breakfast.
Bulk buffet breakfast. So see, I can't even say it once.
Oh no. But like, yeah, we had like all these like pastries and that kind of stuff. And then like that day we had to go up the Eiffel Tower. It was like the first thing we did. And we had this like amazing breakfast, and we catch the subway over there, and like we all arrive at the Eiffel Tower, and we're like standing at the bottom looking up at the base, just going like, oh, fuck me, like, because the line for the elevator was so long, and like we're like, no, let's just climb it, and we're like, yeah, let's do it. And so my younger sister, she like sprints up ahead, and then mum and dad and I like trail behind, and we're getting up maybe 100 steps, and there's maybe like another like 800 to go. And we're just looking at each other going, fuck, like, like we could feel it. So I couldn't do it. I couldn't be fit as well. And like, also they didn't let us on it because that was right after the 2015 attacks.
Oh shit! Right.
Yeah. So we're in Paris like a month after that. And so we were there in December, and like the November attacks had just happened. So like I remember like we were like halfway up, like panting because of all like the pastries we had in the morning, and like we looked down, there's like all these like military officers like with AK-47s like just guarding the Eiffel Tower, and I'm like, we can't shout for help because like these Parisians are already so much on edge. We cannot complain because we've had too much donuts that we can't climb a fucking landmark.
Speaking of pastries, did you eat some goddamn Danishes that morning?
Goddamn Danishes. Try to say that 5 times fast.
Goddamn Danishes, goddamn Danishes, goddamn Danishes, goddamn Danishes, goddamn Danishes.
So this sounds like it's gonna be like Beetlejuice, like if you say not like a Danish will suddenly pop up.
I wish it did, because holy crap, I love donuts. Like I brought up donuts today.
Yeah.
But I'm wishing now that I brought up the Danishes.
Why did you bring up donuts?
Crap.
Have you been like having donuts recently?
I gotta say,
like,
yeah, I had some donuts the other night.
Nice. Like donut time, or like what do you?
No, okay. So earlier in the week, this is the spectrum of donut.
Yes.
Earlier in the week, I went to the gym, had a good gym session.
Do you work out, Brenton?
Oh,
is this a fit bloke?
I'll just work out a little bit, eh?
Well, put your shirt back on, Brenton. Like,
Give me a sec. Yeah, so I finished my workout. Get in the car.
We get it.
I'm gonna name drop it a third. I finished my workout.
Ooh.
And I got in the car, went past a petrol station, stopped in, filled the car up with fuel.
Ooh.
And I bought myself like a cheap $2 strawberry donut.
Okay.
And because I was feeling a bit
Oh, those are shitty. The ones
they're shitty, but they're like, sometimes you're in the mood for a shitty donut. Sometimes
it's like, I'm a piece of shit. I need a shit donut.
That's right. You're like you're in the mood.
Don't you ever forget it, Brenton.
It doesn't have to be a donut. It can be a shitty anything. It can be it can be a shit.
I know it can be a shit.
It can be a shit. But you're in the mood for a shitty something that you know shit. And it's like the Macca's run. It's that idea. It's like, this is fucking terrible for you.
But I argue that like you feel very good sometimes when you go for that Macca's run.
I never feel good after a Macca's run, but I feel satisfied.
You
There's
do.
a difference between feeling.
Oh my gosh, it was like
satisfied.
me last night with a girl. Like,
there's a difference between being satisfied with a purchase, and being like, I did that, and I'm happy I did that. But feeling good is like, I'm feeling good. It's like you're feeling healthy, you're feeling fit. You're like, you're feeling good. I don't feel good after Macca's or a shitty donut. Anyway, so start of the week I had the strawberry donut.
yeah.
Ended the week with a whole bunch of some Greek donuts.
Ooh, I don't think I've had Greek donuts before.
Damn boy, they're good. You gotta have some.
Damn boy.
Boy,
Where do you get Greek donuts at in Sydney?
Go to a Greek place.
So just find a Greek restaurant.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like,
I was at this Greek restaurant, and for dessert, because they love their cheese.
what's the difference? Like, are they sugary, or are they just like, are they more filling? Like,
I don't know. So there was options.
okay,
We got there's 3 options. There was ones with honey.
okay,
There was ones with just like cinnamon,
yep.
and there was ones with biscuit and Nutella.
Ooh,
So we got the cinnamon ones because we were like,
okay.
I'm feeling the cinnamon.
Controversial. I'm not a big fan of honey.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I'm the same. It's one of those things that if I'm in the mood for it, but like at the same time, I can't deal with a lot of honey on honey and toast.
You don't like a taste of honey.
Why the fuck would you do that? Yeah, like just
Yeah, I understand it.
Yeah.
Honey on waffles, I think people quite enjoy.
yeah, but just,
Like other people,
just get some maple syrup on there. Just get that if you're in for that fix. Anyway, I can do honey on other things though. I like honey and wheat bix. That's weird, but
Okay.
that's on point.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we got these Greek donuts. They gave us the cinnamon ones, and we had a couple. They're godlike. That's when I experienced the second coming of Christ.
Nice.
They're like fluffy. They're not too sweet, but like they're just succulent, and they're not even.
I really hope there's listeners like listening to this episode who are like just about to have lunch, and now we've made them very hungry. They're
Get
like,
yourself to a Greek restaurant and just say, "Give me some of them Greek donuts."
get them Greek donuts, boy.
They were so good. We asked for a little bit of Nutella on the side to dip them in.
Oh, nice.
Holy shit!
And they gave you it?
Yeah, for free.
Wow.
We got free Nutella
For free?
For free. So we had the cinnamon donut
Yeah.
dipped in Nutella.
Wow. Nice.
Dude.
Dude, bruh, you just gotta try it.
Oh, I was coming into this show and I was thinking about it. And it's like, what do I talk about at the start of this show? Goddamn donuts.
Hey man, I'm glad you've had a good donut this week.
Oh, I could do it with a Danish though.
Ooh. It's classic movie banter.
Welcome to
Hey!
Classic Movie Banter episode. Say it, Nathan.
10.
Holy
1-0.
moly!
Woo! Woo!
Episode episode number 10.
It's 10. We're in double digits, baby.
We're here.
High five, we did it. Now I can finally get the fuck out. Good night, everyone.
This is the final episode of Classic Movie Banter. No. We hope to be here for many,
at least
many more.
another 10. Like, at least.
Yeah, well, that's the next goal.
Yeah.
You know, like another 10.
We're like a telethon right now. It's like, how much have we raised? Only 10. Well,
I gotta say, it feels good to be here.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Like
Oh.
this has just been a true joy.
I know.
So far. Yeah.
This is let's not pat ourselves on the back yet. We've started our 10th episode. We haven't done a full 10 episodes yet.
We've reached the 10th episode.
Yeah, we're in the final lap, you know. And
Yes.
we just need some marathon music and and we're just doing that final lap. Like,
Was that a hint?
ooh,
that a
there's a
hint
subtle
at
hint
the
of
film we just watched?
what's to come. Yeah, we just watched a film, so it's a milestone episode. So you know, episode 1 is a big episode for us because it's our first one.
Mm-hmm.
So Brent and I, we sat down one day and we were thinking about what we should do for episode 10. And we took a long time to think about this. You know, we did some arts and crafts in between.
Ate some donuts. Ate some benches. Yeah.
Ate some donuts. Brenton wrote a novel. I did a trip to Mongolia. You know, Brenton decided to learn trapeze acts for some weird reason, and
it's
I
not
coached
weird.
him. He actually almost made the Olympics, and in that time we tried to decide what to do for our anniversary. Well, like, we did Rocky to start off with, so why don't we do Rocky 2?
Rocky 2.
Rocky 2!
Released in 1979. 3 years after Rocky number 1.
There you go.
Directed by Sylvester Stallone and written once again by Sylvester
Yes.
Stallone and starring Sylvester Stallone as Rocky.
Costumes by Sylvester Stallone.
So basically the thing that changed was that he's directing this film now.
Yeah. And boy, does he make a film all right.
Yeah, so this week I kind of I haven't quite made up my mind of where I stand, whether I'm going to vote up or down. So I kind of have a discussion.
Hold your horses there, son. Before you even start talking about the movie, I don't even know what movie we're talking about. I need you to pitch it, buddy. Pitch that arm.
Am I pitching this?
Yeah, you're pitching this movie.
Okay. Rightio.
It's your turn, motherfucker.
Rocky 2, released in 1979, picks up during Rocky 1.
Yeah, there you go.
And it continues to follow this man's life known as Rocky Balboa.
Mm-hmm. So pretend I have no idea what Rocky is. What is Rocky, Brenton?
So Rocky is the central
Flavor of
character
ice
of this
cream,
film.
yeah.
Yes, Rocky Road. Oh, yummy. Rocky Balboa is a man from Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
He is a streetwise guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's an everyday kind of guy.
Yeah, he's like you, Brenton.
Is he? Are you kidding me?
No.
That's thank God, because I was going to say that was the best compliment anyone's ever given me. He's a classic. He's the working man.
Yeah, definitely not you.
Yeah, he's
It's like, get out.
Do it. So, oh God, I'm halfway through the pitch.
He's an everyman
This is
man.
the worst pitch I've ever done.
You're crashing and burning on our 10th episode,
Oh
Brenton.
dear Lord. It's a difficult. I find this a difficult film to pitch. So he's the everyday working man that is also a fighter. Believes himself to be a fighter.
He's a fighter and a lover.
Yeah, he's a fighter and a lover to Adrian.
Ooh.
He's a significant other.
Mm-hmm.
And do I spoil Rocky 1?
Yeah, you can spell Rocky 1.
Okay, cool. So he's just finished fighting Apollo Creed, the greatest boxer in the world. And he lost narrowly to Apollo Creed. But many say, he controversially lost, because many say that Apollo won the match, but Rocky beat Apollo.
He did, didn't he? Yeah, boy.
So this film basically takes place in the aftermath of that huge fight and deals with basically how both Rocky and Apollo Creed move on from it.
Ooh.
There you go.
That's a good
That's
pitch.
a pitch, yeah.
That's definitely got my attention. Like, as someone who has seen Rocky 1, and I'll be like, yeah, what happens once you have the match? You know, once you've reached the climax.
Where do you go?
Yeah. What do you do? Like, yeah, good pitch, Brenton. I'm impressed with
I was failing, and then I
You were
kind of
stumbling,
came
but
through.
almost like Rocky. Like,
Oh my God, that was a good pitch then. Yes.
It was a metaphor for Rocky 2.
Crisp high five.
It's classic movie banter.
So now that I've pitched this film, I can't make up my mind yet where I vote on this.
Yep.
And I kind of want to have this discussion and then vote at the end of it, if that's all right.
It's almost like what we do every episode,
Kind
Brenton.
of, but I don't even want to start it by saying I love this movie. Or I hated this movie.
Okay,
so
cool.
I'm gonna hand it over to you, Nathan. What do you think of Rocky number 2?
You know what? So for the first 20, 30 minutes, I thought it was weaker and I thought it was incoherent because there's a lot going on at the start of Rocky 2. There's a lot of different plot threads introduced. But you know what? Retrospectively, now looking at it after finishing the film, I actually think this is better. I personally think, you probably might disagree with me on this, but I think this is a better movie than Rocky 1. This feels like it has more thematic depth to it. I think it's doing way more interesting things with the character. It continues to be a romantic movie that has boxing. And I don't know, it really deals with identity, and I really enjoy it. I sound so wanky. It's like, this is a film that deals with identity and the human condition. But no, I think it's a very intelligent film, weirdly, for a Rocky sequel. No, I thought it was strong. Well, no, so where should we start with this? In the non-spoilers,
I'll say my thoughts then.
Okay.
Because I've kind of, they're gathering. But
Yeah.
So I will say this. I think I agree with you. I enjoyed this movie more than watching the first film.
Yep.
I agree. I actually thought the start was... I disagree about the start. I think, personally, I thought there was some strong elements. After the first 10 minutes, I think then it became a bit incoherent.
Oh, okay,
There's a sudden change that happens that we'll talk about later.
Yep.
That things started getting... And then it kind of got back on track.
Yeah.
But I would say that the first film is better made. Is technically a better film, but I agree that this one probably has more thematic depth, is more enjoyable in some ways, but it has a couple moments, but it doesn't have, say, like the hallway scene in the first film. It doesn't have like those incredible scenes from the first film that I genuinely thought were awesome scenes. But my problem with the first film, again, because I gave it a thumbs down in the first episode, was that I wanted more of that, and I didn't get it. So this one isn't as well made, but it's more enjoyable.
Addressing the criticisms of the first film, do you agree that because one of our points last time was that there wasn't as much boxing in Rocky as we would have liked. This time I feel that this film addresses that. I feel like there's a lot more boxing in this one.
There's way more boxing.
Yeah, which is good. And also the boxing is better. Like, watching this film, when you actually see the fights that happen in this film, they're better. Like remember when we first watched that first film, the sound isn't right.
Yeah.
It feels like fake fights. You can really see that they're fake punches. But this one, I feel like the choreography definitely stepped up.
Yeah, I thought there's a fight scene in this that I thought was pretty awesome. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and holds up today.
Yeah,
I think
for sure.
definitely. Like, this film, I feel like definitely holds up today. Like, it doesn't show that it was made in the late 70s in that kind of sense.
No.
Like, especially not. It's pacing. I feel like it's good pacing. I feel like there's a big slump in the middle.
I feel
when a character when that character goes through like that thing, like, I thought it was very slow in that. When we don't see that character for a bit.
Yeah.
I thought that was really slow. But I don't know. I feel like. But immediately after that, it picks right up and it goes into a great thing, and you're like, I'm back on board.
Yeah, so this film's 2 hours long. I feel it can be an hour and a half long.
Yeah, I feel like they could definitely cut up some of that fluff in the start, because we don't need to see a lot of that stuff. Like, it feels like it's trying to tick boxes at the start. You know what I mean?
And there's a big chunk in the middle that it could just go away, and it'd be
just let it go away, fly away.
Yeah. But again, it's more enjoyable, more thematic depth. And to top it all off, the strengths of the first film are in this film as well.
Absolutely.
The strength is
Sylvester Stallone.
Is Rocky Balboa.
It's Rocky Balboa.
That character is awesome.
I miss him so much.
You know what? Coming into this episode tonight, I got to be honest, I wasn't looking forward to it.
Oh.
Yeah, I wasn't.
I have to see Nathan. I have to go to his house.
Yeah. No, it was that I was concerned about watching Rocky 2 because... Again, I gave the thumbs down to Rocky 1.
Yes, we know.
I have to remind our beautiful listeners that
it's true.
That's what happened. But so because of that, I was going, and I think that Rocky 1 leaves it. I like the ambiguity of the ending still, that we don't know what happens after that. Like, he narrowly loses that fight, but it's not about the fact that he loses it. It's about his relationship with Adrian. The film ends with them, and there's some ambiguity around where they go, but it's a great ending. So I was kind of like, I wasn't ready for a sequel. And I was trying to work out if it needed one. And I'm still trying to work out if it needs a sequel.
Yeah, I don't know
if
if this film was necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they made it. Like,
yeah, again, there's some nice things in this.
it does some really smart things. I feel like it deals with the aftermath of success.
Yep.
And like, I felt like very predictable the way that Rocky handled success. It was a very predictable plot. Like I was guessing the things that happened, and then when they happened, I'm like, oh yeah, I probably guessed that. But I was surprised by moments in the film.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I know. I think this was a story that had to be told because sure, like the first film ends with this big victory, and you know, even though he doesn't win, like he still wins like his wife's heart and that kind of stuff. But like in this one, like it deals with like, okay, he still is very inexperienced with all this. Like, how would he handle it?
Yeah.
And I don't know. This is a great film about failure, I think, as well. Like, you know, how to embrace failure and you know, how to learn from it.
Yeah, that's I totally agree.
I respect it for that. So no, I think this is definitely. I'm glad this is made. So yeah.
I'd also say that in saying that I was unsure coming into this, I have to say that again, like I didn't realize how much I missed Rocky as a character until I was into it. And spoiler alert for what you kind of Nathan had a reaction during the movie that I actually wrote down in my notes because I think it summed it up perfectly. Is that we were probably about 10 to 15 minutes in, and you turned to me and you said, "God, it just feels good to be back, doesn't it?" And I was like, that's it. It instantly, you're back in the world. That nothing's changed. It literally just picks up, and it's so subtle in the sense that you're just continuing on with this guy's life.
Yeah, you're back in Philadelphia, and like one of the things I thought about the first film was that it's a great film about a man and his city. So like the first film really deals with Rocky's place in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And this film, while not so much about Philadelphia, doesn't shy away from that.
No.
So like the archipelago group is still there, the pet shop's still there, his love of animals is still there. There's a great scene in a zoo which we'll talk about, and spoilers. Like it's great. Like and Philadelphia is still beautifully shot, and it's still a love letter to Philadelphia and the streets and the people. There's more people in Philadelphia this time in a very particular scene, which I'm sure you're aware of, where we really see the people of Philadelphia.
Oh, we see many people.
We see so many people. And also like it's funny, even though Rocky's this big famous boxer from the fight, he's not treated as that famous because like he isn't more well known on the streets than what he was in the first film. You know, like on the first film, how he's like walking around the streets and he's like, "Hey, how you going, everyone?" And I was like, "Hey, Rocky," you know what I mean? But like in this film, even though he's like had this like world famous fight, people still do that to him. So nothing's really changed in his life.
Yeah,
except the money, of course, which you will get into in spoilers.
Yeah, of course.
So
yeah, I like this film. This film does ask some questions of the Rocky character, which I like.
Some difficult questions.
Yeah.
There's also some really random scenes in this movie.
Yes.
Like really, why is this in a Rocky movie?
Exactly.
Like,
yes.
yeah, it goes in some weird directions. Yeah. I feel like a lot of this film also was like, every idea they had for Rocky 2, they put into Rocky 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There was no, in terms of like collaboration of like, let's pull back, let's just focus on these 3 points. It's like let's focus on these 3 points, but keep all of the 10 points that we had in the pitch.
Exactly.
You know?
That's it. I feel like they were just like, oh, what if Rocky did this, and then like, what if he was like this, and it's like, sure, let's do it, and they just filmed it all, and they decided to keep it all, and it's like, it makes me wonder, like. Remember at the end of the first Rocky, you and I were like, where the hell does this franchise go? You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't have predicted it to go in this direct. I wasn't thinking rematch. I thought like maybe. He would have fought someone new or something like that, like a worse version of Apollo Creed.
I agree. Yeah, though I'm happy that it went the way it did. Though about 20 minutes into the film, I think we both predicted where it was going.
Yeah, exactly, and that kind of made it boring. So like, I don't know
though in saying that there's some incredibly tense moments in the finale of this film.
Oh, absolutely, and you really don't know where it's going to go.
The finale of this film is great. Like,
do you reckon it's a better fight than number one?
Yes.
Yeah, I completely agree.
The finale
too.
of this film is like incredible. Yeah. I'm not sure if like the last like say like 10 seconds is like strong.
Is that
like,
as well, that's because there's a huge emotional payoff at the end of Rocky 1 with the I love you. This one, it's more. Yeah,
it's more again. It's just a different theme. It's exploring different things.
It would have been great if like he just said it again, then Adrian has to like drive across town just to like
Adrian,
yeah,
I'm coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Adrian, God, I still love that character.
She's great. I reckon she's better in this movie than the last one because she's not as shy and not as like withdrawn. Like she has a better role. I think.
Yeah, but she still has an arc as well, which is good. Like,
and the best friend isn't as much of a dick in this one.
No,
he still has a very dick thing.
He's still
two-thirds through the film, he does a very big dick thing.
Yeah,
but like he's less dicky.
But I like that. I like that he's come somewhere from the first film, but he's still got those.
Because he's got that dope new watch. That's why.
That's right. And they didn't just neglect his character. He still is a dick.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that Apollo Creed gets more screen time.
100% agree.
Yeah, but
he's so interesting, isn't he?
Yeah, but I feel like they made him more of a villain in this, which I don't.
That's the thing. I disagree with you. I really disagree with you on that. I don't think he's a villain at all in this film. Yeah, he's an antagonist, but like he's not a dick. I don't think he's a dick. Do you think he's a dick? I mean, you can say yes.
He's a bit of a moron. He's not a dick. He's a bit of a moron. Yeah.
He's the man who just can't let it go, you know? I think it's moronic that he chose to rematch Rocky.
Yeah.
But like, and that's not really a spoiler. It's like the premise of the film.
Yeah, we'll get into it in post the talk. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I just felt that in the first film there was more nuance in terms of his approach, in terms of that he was using the media to market himself.
Yes.
In this film,
which is timely,
every scene I got a bit sick of him being like super aggro and angry about the fact that he had to fight Rocky.
It's true.
And I get that. I get where you're coming from. Like,
you understand his motivations. Like,
yeah. The more you sold me a bit on like in saying that he's not a villain, and villains are very.
Like he's doing his job. Like he wants to win a fight. Like it's not personal for him. Like he doesn't he's not. He doesn't attack
I think it's very personal for him in the terms that man's all about his ego, so to speak, and his image.
And like Rocky represents this failure that he's had or potential failure. And I love that there's a scene where he just reads YouTube comments essentially.
Yeah, and he's so offended by them.
He's so offended. He just gets all this hate mail, and like he's like it's literally. I literally wrote down the note like is he on YouTube? Like it's like Apollo Creed suck dick. It's like Apollo Creed, try getting a real fight, you faggot. it's like really shitty hate mail.
Yeah,
and he reads it
and he rages.
He rages.
So
it's like, buddy, just don't open your letters.
I appreciate that he's in this more, and he has some awesome moments. I just wanted. We kind of get the other side. We kind of get some quiet moments with him, but I wanted more of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think this film was as smart as it could have been.
Yeah.
I think these films definitely have somewhere smarter to go. Weirdly for boxing movies, but like I don't know. I feel because he wasn't attacking Rocky's character. Like it really wasn't like a personal match between them in the sense that like whenever Apollo would do something mean to Rocky, like the doodles, like Rocky just laughed it off.
Yeah, because he's trying to get a rise out of him.
Yeah, and it's boxing. Like it's all about the show. Like it's like he doesn't want Rocky to have a bad life. Like he wants to help Rocky because Rocky, does what he does after the success, and then Apollo is like, oh, let's give Rocky another match and let's actually try and help this guy because like.
I don't think that's. I think that's for the public persona of let's help this guy.
He's doing it because he just wants to fight Rocky.
But he's doing it because he wants to fight Rocky and he wants to destroy Rocky so that he can
kill him now.
Yeah, because it's a marketing thing. It's like that first fight was going to be a marketing thing to springboard him to elevate him to like legendary status.
Yeah.
It didn't quite go the way he expected.
Yeah,
and now he's like backpedaling and he's kind of like, he's kind of like this is a last ditch effort because.
You really feel desperation from him, don't you?
He's so desperate. Yeah, he's
which is why the fight is more interesting at the end because he's like Creed really goes for
very
it.
Emotional.
It's a very brutal fight. And you can see it like the physical. I love the opening scene of the movie, not a spoiler, where like they're both going to hospital. And like they're all like in both of them are in wheelchairs being wheeled around the hospital and they meet. And then Creed still like tries to get up out of his chair and he's like, "Fuck you, Rocky! Let's do it here and now."
Yeah, the film is about like failure and and also like finding a purpose in the sense finding a purpose in the sense of that Creed has his purpose. His purpose is like is laid out before him. So he thinks, I should say, because there's other options, but he never actually considers the other options.
Yeah,
and maybe that's not his purpose to fight Rocky again. But Rocky doesn't really like. Yes, there's reasons that he's fighting Apollo Creed again, but. He doesn't necessarily have to win. He just has to fight. But the film is kind of about him finding his desire to win against this man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it takes a while. Spoiler. Should we go into spoilers?
First, I think we should rate the movie. I'm saying for this film, like I don't know why, like I'm very confident with this. Like I say watch it. I'm giving it a thumbs up personally because like I think this is better than the first film. I think I stand by it. If I had to choose between watching Rocky 1 or 2, I would choose 2 because I'm already invested in the characters and I feel like it does something more with the characters. So like this is definitely the Shrek 2 of the Rocky franchise in my opinion. Like I don't know. I feel like if you enjoyed Rocky 1, you'll definitely enjoy this. I think if you've never seen a Rocky movie, you can't just watch Rocky 2 out of the blue.
No, I agree.
No, you definitely got to watch Rocky 1 beforehand. And Rocky 1, I gave that a thumbs up. So, with Rocky 1 though, I feel like if the first like 15 minutes don't do it for you, then don't keep watching.
Yeah.
So, and same with Rocky 2. Like if stick through Rocky 2. I reckon it's worth it because there's some amazing things, especially towards the end, that make the whole movie worth it. What about you, Brenton?
I'm conflicted. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say that I agree with everything you just said.
Thank you. The feels of being right.
I'm not. There's some great moments in this film. I'm still not sure if it's necessary to be a Rocky film and to continue from where the other film left off. There's some great character moments in this. It's not as cohesive as I'd like it to be. It's not as well made as the first movie as I'd like to be. If you haven't seen the first movie and you see this, like, what's the point? Like, you're not really going to be as invested as you could be. Because Rocky 1's such a great springboard for the Rocky character that this doesn't have those kind of... It's not... Which I appreciate. It's not...
I'm glad it's not repeating the first movie.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
glad
right.
of that.
It's not plastering Rocky at every chance it gets. Like, the first film is just Rocky. This is Rocky, Apollo, Adrian... Mickey, the trainer, and there's a bunch of characters that this really goes into, and like thematically and probably in terms of writing, it's probably better written. As well made, not really. So I'm going to give this a thumbs down and just say, look, I gave the first film a thumbs down, and if I'd given the first film a thumbs up, which I wouldn't, maybe watch this one because it is more enjoyable.
But you'll have to watch the first one anyway.
You'll have to watch the first one anyway. So I'm just kind of like, you could just pass on it and watch.
That's okay, buddy.
Watch other sports films, or
Yeah, watch Raging Bull again. Like if you want to watch a boxing movie, watch Raging Bull
or The Fighter,
or any of the recommendations we gave for the first one.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's a lot.
Yeah, and this is not the Dark Knight of boxing movies, Like,
no.
This is
No, I do again, but I love that character. I love most of the characters in this film, and I just wish the films were better for them. Yeah.
There you go. All right, so spoilers. Okay,
spoiler.
Watch out! It's a spoiler. Quick, tackle it. That's okay. I got it. I'm just gonna put the spoiler over here in the corner. Shush.
Padlock it. Got it.
Hey, settle down, Bessie.
All right. Now open it back up because we're going to fucking talk some spoilers.
Yeah, where do you want to start with this?
Well, where were we? We're about to discuss the... God, what were we talking about?
The film... You know what is great about this film is the soundtrack. Because...
there's some awesome remixes of that
There's a
theme.
great remix, isn't it? I remember the film opens with a great remix. I was just, you and I were definitely like sitting... We were both sitting next to each other watching this. We're both like bobbing our heads to it. And we're like, yeah, man. Like the music's just so good. Like... What a quality time.
I gotta say, when this film started, I was pretty... Like I said, I wasn't ready to go into it. I wasn't, feeling it. But God, when it started, I was hyped up. I was so hyped up, which was surprising. But there was and it's a credit to the soundtrack because there was so many moments because there's another training montage.
Yes.
And there's another running montage.
Yes.
And when they happened, I was, neither did I. I was so hyped, dude. When
as soon as it came on,
you
and I lost our shit because it was right after the whole coma thing, and then like he just gets straight back into it, and I love that there's like all of Philadelphia running behind him. Like there's like
it's
a mob.
Crazy.
There's like a mob of hundreds of people just like running behind Rocky.
People say The Force Awakens was a nostalgia bomb, and this came out 3 years after the first one, and it was the biggest nostalgic bait I've ever seen in my life. But it was fucking incredible.
He does the same, yeah.
Except the kids was a bit much.
It was a bit much.
It was all a bit cheesy, and it was a bit much.
It starts with the one kid, and then it just keeps on growing, and then eventually there's 30 children, and I'm like, is this appropriate?
He's also doing he's jumping over the park benches and shit.
Yeah.
And you're like, Jesus Christ. And then, like, I think the sun's setting when he gets to the top of the stairs.
Like,
it's like,
how long was he running for?
Marathoning all fucking day? Because it's like, it's like dawn when he leaves.
Yeah, and the crowd grows. Like, it just gets bigger and bigger. And, like, there's a point where the crowd's like jumping over landmarks, like over a fountain, just to, like, keep up with him.
Rocky!
And, like, if I was just going for a jog, getting ready for a fight, then I turned around and there's hundreds of people chasing after me, I would be terrified. Like, I would just keep running. Like, what if this film suddenly just hard transitioned to a horror film? And, like, the mob, they have, like, pitchforks and, like, torches.
He
like,
gets to the top of the stairs, like, cheers and goes, hey, and the kids, like, literally tear him apart.
they, like, stab him, like, with knives. They're just, like...
They tear his limbs off and just, like, throw them around.
The Creed send their regards. And they're just stabbing away. It's like, ah! And Adrian rocks up. She's like, no! Adrian! As he's been murdered by children.
He calls his kid Rocky Jr.
Oh, did you see that coming? Like, what else is he going to name the kid?
Sam? Something, a name that's different, please.
Does people going to see this kid in the future movies? Like, oh, probably. Like, maybe he grows up, like, to be another Rocky. What if inexplicitly they make another Rocky and it's just the kid and Sylvester Stallone plays the kid?
Could you imagine in the marketing that, like, they were like, this other actor's going to play Rocky and everyone thinks Sylvester Stallone's left the movie. What they don't tell you is that he's playing his son. So then the movie, like, this would be the biggest, like, marketing, like, because then everyone goes and says they're ready to shit on this kid, and then, like, halfway through the movie, old man Rocky walks in.
Oh, and he's got the Wolverine claws. Like,
oh my god, could you imagine?
That'd be amazing.
I should have directed Rocky 3.
You should, Brenton.
No, I shouldn't have. I should not have. Oh, we haven't seen it yet, but yeah, I'm telling you straight up, I should not have, because that sounds fun on a podcast,
would be a fan.
but God.
No. There's some interesting scenes in this movie. I love the scene where he first goes into the hospital and he's, like, getting treatment, and you and I are both very confused as to what he's getting done. Like, he's, like, lying on the hospital bed because he got beaten up badly, but, like, they got this, like, full face reconstruction, like, thing going on. Like, I remember going to, like, what if Rocky becomes a woman? Like, like, the next scene, he just walks out.
That's the sequel we all deserved.
Oh, Rocky 3. Call it, like, Rockina. Rockina 3. It just comes out. It's like, it's a celebration of women boxing. He has to verse, like, Ronda Rousey or something like that. Like, that would be great. I would love it. Man.
But, yeah, like, and then, it drops the... Oh, I really liked this. I really like this plot point that he was dealing with the fact that the reason that he's retired is that the fact he's now, like, partially blind in that eye that got so broken up.
You actually see the effects of the injury.
And he's badly injured. He's beat up. He shouldn't be boxing. He shouldn't be fighting. And he goes back because basically the public demands it. He doesn't... I don't even know if he really, is up for it or he really wants to. And he finds that desire, as I was saying before, as the film goes on, he finds that desire and a reason to win against Apollo as opposed to just stepping back, taking a few punches and taking the paycheck. You know what I mean? To help him through his financial woes. Like, he doesn't really have that kind of motivation to. Like, the only real motivation is, one, like, his kind of... his image as a fighter. But at the same time, like, he's also trying to find his identity as a person, I feel, sometimes in this film. Yeah, and what imprint he wants to leave, not only on the public, but on his wife, on his son.
Because that's the thing, because he fucks up his success a lot. Because obviously he goes through that whole montage where he goes shopping, like, shopping with Rocky, and he blows all of his cash on pointless shit.
There are so many montages in this movie.
So many. It's like the producers were like, you know what worked in the first film? That montage.
It's like there's, like, literally, I wrote it down, it's called the failure montage. It's the failure butcher montage, when it's him and the butchers, like, having a shit day, all these shit days at work, doing all these crappy jobs in the butchers, and it's like... It's literally the Rocky failure montage. It's like, look where he is now.
That was a difficult scene to watch, like, seeing all that meat cut up. I'm like, ugh. Like, remember we were talking about vegetarianism? Like, was it last episode or the episode before? Something like that. Like...
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it's like that scene, like, in Rocky 2, where, like, he's just, like, watching the meat all being chucked to pieces and that kind of stuff. I'm like, oh, this is not making me a proud meat eater. Like, like, in the middle of the factory.
He like went to, like, take I'd say it's like a large bundle of bones and other things.
Yeah.
And he's trying to wheel this thing out. And you just see this rib cage just get thrown on top, like, as it's moving. I was like, good lord.
Oh no.
Good lord. And obviously, like, you can tell these are, like, they're seemingly props. They're seemingly, like, fake ribs and stuff. They're not real bones.
Oh yeah.
But still, it's a brutal sight when you watch kind of like them just, like, cleaving at that meat, and then it just pans to Rocky, and he's just so, like, over it. He's just Oh, but he's sticking it out for Adrian and to be the support.
He's doing it. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
and like,
God.
and that, their relationship is a great part of this movie. Like,
Yeah.
I adore the scene where they go to the zoo and they're just having a date at the zoo.
And then he proposes.
Out of nowhere. Like, you don't see it coming. It's a genuine surprise because it's so soon and so sudden. And you literally just see them like propose, get married, have a kid, all in the one movie.
Yep.
Like, which would these days be spread across like 3 or 4 movies. And like, I love that when he proposes, there's this tiger just in the background, just like hanging about. And like, there's this weird like reoccurring motif of the tiger in this movie because there's the tiger in the background when he proposes that's just like walking about and it's just minding its own business while he's proposing. But then later on he buys a shirt with a tiger on the back.
Yes.
And I'm like, what's with the tiger thing this movie?
And then
like,
his final boxing gear, it's gold and black. It's
It's like, what's with like, he's the Italian stallion. Like, why is there a tiger? Like, shouldn't he be a horse or something? Like,
I wonder if that was a surely that's like something that's a motive that like people have thought in the making of this movie. So I'd be interested to know what kind of the reasoning behind that is.
Yeah, but it feels like so rushed. Like at the start, like there's so many things like just happening. Like Rocky has to marry Adrian, and they go. Like, it cuts to like from the zoo straight to the wedding. There's no middle time at all.
I was shocked.
And, like,
we both looked at each other and went, "What the hell?" Because again, like you'd expect a wedding to take place maybe 3/4 of the way,
or maybe after the boxing match, like that's how they like have the climax or something like that. Like the whole movie's like Rocky just preparing for the wedding and the boxing match, like which is more important. And the boxing match ends up like taking place right before the wedding, and so Rocky has to like run from the match like in his boxing gear to the wedding, and he's like running like across town and all that kind of stuff. And they're like, "Hope you make it, Adrian!" And he rocks up in the church in his little boxing shorts, and she's standing there waiting.
I love you.
It's very cheesy love dialogue as well.
Yes.
It's not George Lucas dialogue, but like it's still very cheesy.
I hate sand. It's chorus and it's
like
everywhere. I swear he sounds Irish in that bit for some reason. Like his accent's just
Hayden Christensen, just
it's so strange in that scene.
Yeah.
And then Natalie Portman's like, in 10 years I'm gonna win an Oscar, and this will all be worth it.
I'm gonna do this shit film now, but it'll be all worth it eventually. I'll be a lesbian swan. But no, like I would have been great if that had happened in the movie. But I also thought the relationship between Rocky and Adrian was more balanced in this film. I love that when he was reading to Adrian, like throughout the movie, like Rocky learns to read, and she has better banter, like she says, "Oh, you read really nice," and then Rocky's like, "You lie really nice." Like, I'm like, you two, like I really ship them as a couple.
Yes, I can too. They're like the best. They're so. There
was no almost rape scene in this movie, which is great.
Yes,
like,
that's
always a plus. Like,
that's always a plus. Yes.
Always a plus when there's like no near rape scene in movies.
Yeah, well,
but also like, with their relationship, I was genuinely distraught and caught blindsided when
she went into a coma.
Holy shit! She went into a coma. This movie, like, that's insane.
So they got married.
Yeah,
she got pregnant. She went into a coma. She came out of the coma, got handed the kid, and then he beat Apollo Creed.
Like, there's a lot in this movie.
And he learned how to read.
Yeah. But most importantly, Rocky learns how to read. And, like, I love... Hey!
BC. Deep.
But, like... Wow. Go home, Brenton. But I love that scene where, like, she's asleep and he's reading to her and she's in the coma. And he's like, oh... And, like, because she's in the coma, she has to listen to him read. And I was waiting just for her to, like, come out of the coma just so she could just say, "Shut the fuck up, Rocky."
Can you please shut the fuck up? My eyes are shut for a reason. Like,
but that's the thing, like there's so many just like random scenes in this movie that I feel like didn't belong. Like that whole like side plot where he like tries to be in a commercial and he's like a Tarzan figure and like that, you could have cut that whole thing out. Like,
I kind of like the idea of it, but like we could have got there way sooner. Like, we take the time basically.
But it's obvious also like how he's treated with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And it's like what Rocky's financial woes, and it's basically like his financial woes is that he buys everything and then realizes
he
that
buys
like,
all the things.
He probably should have, saved some money, put some of that money in the savings account. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I don't know, but he has to have a catalyst to want to fight Apollo again, because Apollo he he needs to fight Rocky. But Rocky,
He does.
again, doesn't really need to fight Apollo.
No, he doesn't. And, like, he turns it down for so much of the film, and it's his choice to, like, not choose to fight. But then, when he makes the decision that, yes, I am going to fight again, and he meets up again with Mick, his coach, and that scene where he's at the gym, and Mick, like, just punches him, and then Mick is like, I could do that. Apollo Creed's going to fuck you up. And Rocky realizes this, like, it's the truth. And his coach tells him, you don't have the tools. Like, you got the heart, kid, but like physically you cannot do this. And you can really see that affect Rocky. And I thought that was a really deep and meaningful moment.
That was my favorite scene in the film. Because the line that Rocky says, the way he says it, he says, I don't know how to tell you this, coach, but I just got to be around it.
Yeah. Like, he has to. And, like, he won't give up. And that heart is what makes Rocky Rocky.
Yeah.
But, like, I really love how you can really see it affect this guy. Like, this, like, no matter how hard he tries, no matter how much he can put into it, like, that doesn't always count for everything. And, like, you can still fail even with all that. And I thought that film really delivered on that message quite well.
Yeah.
And Sylvester Stallone beautifully acted that scene out. Like,
for sure.
Like, the nuance of his reaction to his coach, just, like, really just dropping the truth to him. And it's an ugly truth as well. But I thought that was a really strong scene.
For a character that kind of says what he thinks, and he's got, like, Rocky Balboa has no filter in terms of, like, he says what he thinks, but in that moment it's something that he's almost scared to say, and it's basically like, this is who I am. I love this. I love the fight. I love I love the ring.
He does it for the fight. He does. And, like, it's funny because this is what's so weird about this film. You have, like, really deep scenes like that, but then you also have a scene where Rocky is chasing after a chicken.
Yeah. And it goes into, like, this weird shaky cam, like, the shots going everywhere. Yeah.
Where literally, like, spend minutes where Rocky just tries to chase a chicken. That's in the movie.
And it's part of the training montage, like the successful training montage when he finally captures the chicken.
It's a moment in the film.
Like, hey, he caught it. And then I was like, what the fuck?
Why are we celebrating Rocky catching a fucking chicken?
And it's like, come on, he could have caught that chicken, like, in that first scene when he's kind of like just like chasing it to a corner and then like randomly like tripping over or
and that's the thing. And I really wish I really want to know how they made that scene, because I bet that was just all improvised. Like, they just like found a fucking chicken and like Sylvester Stallone, they're just like, just chase after it, and he's like, oh, okay, and then he does it, and that chicken would have that real chicken would have been genuinely confused about what was going on.
Yeah.
And why there's a film crew like just around it watching this one guy chase after it. I want to know how many takes it took for him to actually catch the chicken.
I want to know how many times Sylvester Stallone corpsed during that scene, like just like pissed himself laughing, because it's too funny. Like,
it's way too funny. It's such a random moment, and I loved it. I really, really loved it. Like, and there's really funny moments in this film. I think this film's funnier than the first. Like, I love it when they have their press conference and Rocky. There's just that scene where one of the journalists, she's like, "Oh, what would you buy, Rocky?" And he whips out a list. He just has it
goes
there,
down the list.
and he just so, "Oh, I'd buy this for my friends, and I'd buy that."
What's great about that scene too is because Apollo's taking this so seriously, because it is it's incredibly serious to him. And Rocky again just speaks his mind. There's no filter, and he's just
doesn't
honest.
give a shit.
and it just it unfazes Apollo so much. Like, it really messes with him. Like, great scene. That was an awesome scene.
Great scene. But I thought the strongest scene in the film was the fight at the end. Like,
the fight was fantastic.
That fight,
the use of slow-mo, dude.
Oh
yes,
that was so good.
Yeah.
Like, it's more bloody than the first fight.
Yep.
Like, it's just better choreographed. Like, also, like, when it starts, Rocky gets beaten the shit out.
I was on the edge of my seat.
You literally, I remember just watching you lean forward, like, and I remember just like, you just see him take so many punches and he just isn't punching back. And like, Rocky, what are you doing? Like,
and then when he unleashes his southpaw in the final round and takes,
he's like whipping out a secret weapon.
Yeah.
The coach is like, use it, do it.
And Apollo's coach is just like crying, begging, don't go in,
don't do
just
it, man.
Stay back. You've won it.
Game over, man. Game over.
Oh, it's so a great fight scene. Yeah,
great fight. I remember like when they were fighting and Rocky was just getting punched. I remember thinking to myself, kiss. I was like, these are the two characters who definitely should have kissed.
Yeah, it's like that scene in Bruno when there's the cage fight and it ends with like the makeout session. Like, oh god,
I wanted that, but for Rocky 2. Like, they're just in the middle of the fight, and like he gets punched into the corner, and suddenly like it just randomly goes a 180, and it turns really sexual.
Yeah.
Like when he like headlocks Rocky, he just starts to plant one on him, and they just start making out, and everyone's like, what?
We get some like 70s.
And his wife is watching at home, just horrified.
I was gonna say Adrian's watching, and then it's like this 70s like porno music starts playing. It's like
and they're just going for it on the court, and like the referee's like, what do I do here? Like, it's like, do I break it up?
And then it just like fades to credits.
And we're like, ooh, what a great twist ending.
Oh, that's Who Should Have Kissed.
That's exactly who should have kissed.
I don't have any other spoilers to really talk about with this one. But, yeah, but it had some good moments again, like the first film. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well then, hey
Nathan,
let's look at this film's poster.
Oh.
So this poster, if you remember the first one, it was it him running about? I think it was him running about for the first poster.
It might have been. Yes, it was.
Yeah. So for this one, I love this poster.
This poster's on point.
This is a really, really good poster.
Great poster.
Because this is almost like a poster that would exist just for the actual like boxing match itself. Or it's like the rematch of the century, Rocky Balboa, the challenger from Philadelphia, exciting slugging sensation versus Apollo Creed from New York City, the world's heavyweight champion in Rocky 2.
Yeah.
Like it literally does everything a poster should do. Like it says exactly what the film's about. It's got your main stars. Also, notice how they're both like the same size in the poster.
Yes.
So
yes.
like they're perfectly aligned and that kind of stuff. And
it's great.
Yeah,
it's such a good poster.
Yeah,
it's catching. The colors are great.
The yellow's wonderful.
Yeah, and you know instantly what the film's about too.
Exactly. Yeah, it does its job perfectly. So
yeah.
No, like if you guys look this up on Google, like good job, like well done, and definitely like A+ poster, right?
A+. Yeah, I'd say it's perfect for this film. Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's time for some title talk.
Title talk.
It's a title talk.
Title talk.
And you know what? Like Rocky 2, I mean, we know the titles of all these Rocky films, right? So it's like, what? 1, 2, 3, 4... 5.
Rocky Balboa.
Creed. And then Creed 2.
Yeah, Rocky 2 with Roman numerals.
Yeah, Roman numerals. Like,
it's yeah. What else do you call it? It's Rocky.
I would call it Rocky Learns How to Read.
Yes.
I would call it that.
Rocky reads for dummies.
I mean, was there some Rocky 2 in Rocky 2? I mean, there was only one Rocky, so I was a little bit disappointed we didn't see Rocky's evil twin.
That's Rocky and Rocky Jr.
Oh my god! There were two Rockies.
Perfect title.
Oh my
title
god!
Talk.
Oh,
yes.
No, they nailed it. Oh my gosh, that's such a good point.
Yes.
Oh,
there were two Rockies. Yes.
Because if there was, does that mean in Rocky 3 that like he's gonna have a second son and that who's also called Rocky? It's just more and more Rocky.
There's Rockies. It just keeps. There's more as the films go on. More
it's just
Rockies
more and more Rocky.
And
do you reckon it ends with them all having a brawl in number 6? Like,
oh my god, it's like a street brawl.
Yeah. All the Rockies, let them fight.
Yeah, they're like pushing each other down as they're running up the steps.
And that's like the one, like in Rocky Balboa, it's about someone has to earn the title of Rocky Balboa. Like they can only be one.
Yes,
that's the plot of number 6. Like,
awesome.
No, good title.
Yeah, good title.
Great title. Okay. Yeah. Well then, Brenton, critics.
What are they saying?
What are they saying? So on Rotten Tomatoes, we don't know if we could always trust a Rotten Tomatoes scorer, but so far, Rocky 2 has gotten 74% on Rotten Tomatoes and an audience score of 82%. So I think the first Rocky was rated higher on Rotten Tomatoes from memory. I think it was in the 90s, I'm pretty sure. So anyway, so with our critics' reviews, we like to find 2 positive, 2 negative, both from critics and audiences, and see what, we'll see what they're saying about Rocky 2. See, what those film reviewers will say about a film like Rocky 2.
Let's hear.
Put on the hearing aid. It's a bit weird how the coach had a hearing aid for the second half of the film.
Yes.
Like, it's unexplained. Like, his character randomly has it for no reason. Like, did, like, the actor have, like an ear incident?
Yeah.
Like,
it's
on
kind of
set?
like dangling out at some points, and you're just like, all right. Yeah,
okay.
Sure.
But for the first third of the film, he doesn't have it. So, like, I don't know why.
I was trying to figure out whether he'd had it for the whole film or Yeah, I don't know.
Because Rocky's like, what's that? And he's like, oh, I'm hearing. And I'm like, this can't be a character choice. Like, the actor must have surely just like suddenly his hearing must have failed one day. Like, fuck, let's just give him a hearing aid. Like, or they could have fed him his lines through it as well.
True. So, who knows what's going on there?
Who does know?
Yeah.
Weird, isn't it?
Wikipedia might, but that's
Anyway,
okay.
so Matt Bronson from Creative Loafing.
Matt Bronson.
Matt Bronson, he's got a great photo. He gave it a positive review. He said, although Rocky 2 builds itself around a rematch between Rocky and Apollo, this movie is anything but a lazy sequel.
No one called it lazy. Does try a lot of things, but
that's the thing. Well, that's what this guy's saying. He's saying it's not a lazy sequel. Like,
he's saying it's not a lazy.
No, he's saying
sequel,
it's not. Like, it's anything but a lazy sequel.
Okay.
So, and he's right, because like you think the premise of they just fight again.
Yeah, it does a lot with it.
It sounds like there'll be like they're just going to remake Rocky 1,
but it doesn't.
No, it's a radically different film. Yeah. So yeah, he's got a good point.
Good point.
Chuck O'Leary from Fulvudriven.com. He gave a positive review. He said, a very good sequel, even though the result of a climactic Balboa versus Creed rematch is pretty much a foregone conclusion. This is where the series should have ended. Ooh, ominous.
We haven't seen any of the other films in this series. So.
Maybe we should stop. If we listen to Chuck, we'll bring you up, Chuck, when we do episode 3.
Yeah.
When we do Rocky 3.
Rocky 3, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, I mean, it's not. I don't think it was a foregone conclusion, because I remember like saying to you at the time we were watching this together, like it could go either way.
Yeah,
like, he could lose again.
Yeah.
I think it would have been interesting, like a lesson if he. What would happen if he lost again? Like, I guess he would have been broke, and like he would have. I don't know. Actually, yeah, it would have been really bad if he lost again. So.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, no, because in that last fight, I was pretty like it was tense. Yeah, there was tension.
I did not think it was a guaranteed win, because also like he gets very badly beaten for the for the majority of that fight.
As soon as we got through like about half the rounds and he was getting so badly beaten up, I was like, I had the thought he's going to win. He's going to turn around and win this and knock him out. But yeah, before then, I was really concerned.
Your heart was a beaten.
Yeah. Well, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Janet Maslin from the New York Times gave it a negative review, Brenton. Janet said, Rocky 2 has a waxy feeling, and it never comes to life the way the predecessor did.
A waxy feeling?
A waxing feeling, indeed. I wouldn't go waxy. What does that mean, a waxy feeling? There were barely any mannequins in this.
I can't even... Yeah, I can't even...
The film grain wasn't waxy. I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean it never comes to life the way its predecessor did? This is better. Janet, you're wrong.
It's more enjoyable. Yeah.
It's definitely more enjoyable. I know. Because, Janet, what are you doing?
What are you doing,
The silly
Janet?
critic. No. And last of the negative critics, David Nasir from Real Film Reviews. He said, can't help but come off as the most needless installment of the bunch. Needless? That's the thing. Like that's now 2 critics who are saying like the series maybe should. This is where it peaks.
And they're saying like I agree. I don't even know if it's necessary or not. But I haven't seen the other films in this franchise, so I can't be like this is the most needless.
I hope this isn't a high point. I hope they continue to get good.
I hope so too.
Yeah, but then there's like 7 of them, so
because for me this series hasn't really hit its stride. Like it's not.
Nothing's
really blown me out of the water.
Rocky 1 and Rocky 2 are still not like excellent. Like Rocky 1 definitely could be improved, as could Rocky 2.
Yes,
but I still think this is stronger. But anyway, that's the critics. Our audience members. So a guy called Flash G, he gave it 5 stars, and he wrote, "This film is really good."
Thanks, Flash G.
Thanks Flash
for the
G.
input.
You know what? You say you're to the point. I like you, buddy. This film is good. This film is really good.
This film is good.
I like this film. Thanks, Flash.
Yeah, and that's an opinion. So good on you, buddy.
Spy Guy G, he gave it 5 stars.
Ooh.
And Spy Guy said, Rocky 2, in my opinion, is better than the first one. Hey, I have a friend.
You have a friend.
Yeah, just the one.
His name is Spy
Spy Guy G. Maybe I don't want him as my friend.
Dun dun dun.
Oh. I have a secret to reveal, Brenton. I am Spy Guy
G.
Anyway, he said, it's better than the first one. You learn more about Creed and many more characters. Believe it or not, this is a pretty emotional movie and pays off so much.
Yeah,
I agree.
This is summation. Yeah,
Definitely. And this is a better character study than the first film by a mile.
Yeah,
they feel more. All the other characters have more agency, I think, than the first one.
Agreed. Yes.
Jacob T, he gave it 2 stars, Brenton. 2 stars, and he said this is better than the first Rocky movie. But I have a third friend or a second friend. Yes. But it is still not a good movie. It has an awful storyline. I do not know why people like it. That's Jacob's review.
Okay, so he must have. First movie must have gotten a 1 star then.
Yeah, because he says it's better than the first one.
Yeah, wow.
So I do know why people like it. I like it because there's a scene where Rocky reads to his wife, which is pretty entertaining.
Look, I can understand why people like it. Like, I've voted both of these down, but, they've got good moments, and I could understand why people
Once you've
like
seen
them.
all 7, people must be like, Rocky 1, the one where he loses the fight. Rocky 2, the one where
he wins the fight, as well as has a son, learns to read, and gets married.
Yeah. Rocky 3, he takes a cooking class. Rocky 4, he's in Russia now.
Rocky goes to space.
Like, this could happen. We don't know.
Who knows?
And last of the reviews, Jared A, he gave it 2.5 stars, and he said, honestly, only like the last 20 minutes are good.
Wow.
Wow. No, there's good parts.
I'd say the last 20 minutes are probably the most cohesive, sure. Yeah.
Definitely, and probably maybe the best.
Yeah.
But there's definitely great scenes all
There's
throughout.
There's some good scenes in it. Yeah.
So that's the critics and the audiences. So obviously, I think what we're saying has as much value as that, if not more. So trust us.
So final thoughts, I'd say, on this film.
Well, hold your horses
What?
there, son. Hold your horses.
Well, I'm holding
Before we wrap up final thoughts, we wrap up this ep. This is our 10th episode, Brenton.
It is.
It is. 10. We have done as many episodes as I have fingers. You know what I mean?
I have one more, but that's okay.
Yeah, we don't talk about it here.
Sorry.
Anyway, so because we this is our 10th episode, we thought as like an anniversary thing. We know we're going to do this every 10 episodes, but we'll do it for now. We thought we might give a retrospective on like the first 10 films we've done reviews for, because this podcast exists because we think old films have merit, and we're skeptical of whether the classic films are actually that good, and we're also skeptical of films that have been unfairly treated are actually that shit. So, Brenton, I think what you and I could do is maybe just go through our first 10 films and just give an update on how we feel about them. Does that sound like a good idea?
Sounds like a great idea.
Well, thank you, buddy.
Take us away, Nathan.
Okay, so Rocky 1. To be honest, I'm not going to remember what I said for any of these films.
But I remember whether it was yay or nay. Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that. But
wow.
But I'll just give my updated thing. Rocky 1. Yeah. It's definitely the lesser of the 10, I think. Like it's not as good as some of the other ones we've watched, but it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I stand by my thumbs down, and I say that the Rocky Balboa character is great. I like Adrian. It's all right.
I might agree with you actually.
It's not the most important film you have to watch.
No.
It's not, it's not go away and watch this right now. If you watch it, hey, it'll be okay, but it's not the best film ever made. But there's a couple of great characters in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's make this quick fire, Brenton.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do like maybe 2-sentence summaries.
Sure.
Yeah. Just hurry your shit up, man. Like
Sorry.
get your stuff together, Brenton.
Sorry.
Honestly, just like. Oh, sorry, it was the spoiler. He was rattling about the cage.
Get him back in.
Okay, so episode 2, we did Animal House. Oh my god, don't watch Animal House.
Don't watch Animal. Yeah, I changed my mind. I had a thumbs up, thumbs down now. Don't watch Animal House.
Don't do it.
Yep.
Only if you like dumb jokes.
Go watch Monty Python and the Holy Grail, or even
any other thing.
Anything else.
Yeah.
Yep.
Princess Mononoke.
Oh yes. Yes, thumbs up.
Yeah, it's a great film.
Yeah, it's a great film.
It's good.
Great film, great themes, very well animated.
There's still better Ghibli films. I'd say watch the other Ghiblis over that.
Yeah, there's some other Ghibli great films that are better than it, definitely. But I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, good film though. Jurassic Park.
Oh yes, instant classic.
Yes, how have you not watched it? Watch it if you haven't.
Wonderful.
So good.
Yes.
Spellbound. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Fuck, that film's so good.
It's very good, yes.
I've been thinking about it more and more, like, since we did that.
Yeah.
God, it's so good, isn't it?
Very inventive. Some wonderful performances in there as well.
There's some great skiing.
Incredible direction there.
Yeah.
Especially that skiing scene. Out of this world. Best special effects ever.
Oh, absolutely. Watch it for the skiing alone. 5-star. West Side Story. No. Oh my god, it's so bad.
No, the more I think about it, the more I hate it. So yeah, no way.
Is she also now Spielberg is going to do West Side before Indiana 5 now?
Did he? Oh my god.
Indiana 5 got delayed, so now Spielberg's definitely doing West Side. Like right now, that's his next film.
Wow. Cool.
Hope it's better.
I hope it's great. I hope it's really good.
Same. Yeah. Oh yeah, same. That way people don't have to watch the original piece of shit. So.
Oh dear.
Episode 7 was Emerald City. No.
The worst film we reviewed on this podcast.
It's so bad.
Far.
Oh, it's so bad. It's not even like a fun, like make fun of it with your friends.
And it takes place in the city we live in.
I know.
But
we live in Sydney.
Oh, screw that noise. God damn.
It's so bad.
Go read the play. The play, like the screenplay's alright. Go read that. That's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, just not a great film. Yeah.
No, God no. Network. Oh, maybe the best one.
Oh, the best one.
The
so
best
far.
one.
And
Fuck Network's good.
Fuck, it's good.
It's
I watched,
so good.
I watched it again.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I watched it again, and
Oh,
I have
nice.
to say it's up there, dude. It's one of my favorite movies now.
Oh.
I'm not sure where if it goes in the 10, if it goes in the top 20, or in the top 100. It's in there somewhere.
It's so
but
good.
It's awesome. It's
Oh.
so good.
So good. And the one we did last week, River Kwai.
Yes.
River Kwai is so good.
Very good.
Really,
Yes.
really good film. You know, it grows on me the more I think about it.
Yeah, I thought it was really
A great
genuinely-
character study as well.
for sure.
God, Alec Guinness is good in that.
Yeah, and again, it's complicated. It's a complicated film.
True,
It takes place on all sides of that kind of engagement, and
But definitely
really
worth
enjoyed
watching.
it.
Definitely
Yeah.
worth your time. Yeah, and then obviously Rocky 2.
My thumbs are down.
But my thumb is up.
Yep, it's more enjoyable than the first movie.
Definitely better than the first.
Yeah,
Yeah, but definitely watch the first before this one.
yeah. Well, the first film is probably a better film. This one's more enjoyable. Has
Yeah.
more to say, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. And that is Nathan and Brenton recap.
It's 10 episodes of classic movie banter.
There you go, first 10. Done. Here's to the next 10.
Hey,
Hey.
here's to the next 10.
I should have just brought some scotch or something like that. Like,
Let's do a fake chink.
Yeah.
Ready?
chink. Glug, 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 glug.
Satisfaction.
I'll read the cards like Rocky did in the commercial. Do you want a good scotch? Well, go fuck your mother.
God.
I only work with professionals.
Yeah, well, how was that guy? I only work with professionals.
He was such a dick. Like,
Yeah.
even for a director. Like,
Yeah, maybe you should try directing your actor, dude. Holy
yeah.
crap.
Also, by the way, you only work with professionals, mate. You're like filming a boxing commercial. It's like, mate, what's your career? You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, that was Rocky 2.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
times.
Good times.
Good banter.
Great banter.
Ah.
And that's it. We've also, like, no tangents. We're on track this episode.
Woo.
Oh, it's our age, Brenton, our experience in podcasting after now doing 10.
Can you imagine when we're 100 in? God.
Oh God, we'll be dead. Like, it'll just be like just the episode will be uploaded and it'll just be like it'll be snippets from our funerals, just like. It'll be like, those boys, they threw such good banter about classic movies, you know.
And now they're gone.
And now they're gone. Now they're watching movies in the sky. No, once we die, Brenton, like, there's no movies in the sky. We're both going to go to hell and we're just going to be watching, like, Animal House and Animal City on repeat. So, like, that's what we're going, like.
And you do 2 watches of Animal House and then it switches to 2 watches of Emerald City. And it just keeps going for eternity.
Oh, no.
So until next time.
On that happy note.
Thanks everyone.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Thanks if you tweeting at us, rating us on iTunes. Appreciate it so much. Just keep giving us 5 stars if you can. Write a nice thing. We love hearing from you. You guys are awesome. Like, I'd hug you if I could, but I can't, so I'm just gonna hug my iPhone instead.
Yeah, I'm gonna hug my mic. Yeah.
Yeah. Brenton, not now.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, thanks guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for everything. Can't wait for next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Episode 11.
Woo!
Woo!
1-1.
1-1.
See you then.
1-2-1.
1, 2, 3, 2, 1.
1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
1, 2, 3.
The spoiler's out!
It's back out!
Ah!
Dumbledore dies!
Get it! Whoa!